All right, ever wonder how people can resolve matters without a trial? Last week we spoke to court attorney Albert Levi about alternative dispute resolution, also known as ADR. Let's watch. All right, welcome to today's verdict. I'm your host and trial attorney, David Lesch. We have with us today a great attorney and a friend of mine, Albert Levy's here. He's a court attorney working in the Bronx courthouse. He's actually there today. Albert, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Let's get right into it. Let's talk about this alternative dispute resolution program. Tell the viewers a little bit about it, if you could.
Sure. So, alternative dispute resolution is a fancy term basically for resolving a case or a dispute without a trial. It's a way for people to get together. There's more than one way to do it, including mediation, which is what we focus on for the most part here in the Bronx. A neutral third party comes in, gets both sides together to the table. They put out what their issues are. And then they try to see if there's a way that both sides can walk away, if not thrilled, at least satisfied and able to move forward with their lives with the case behind them.
How did this program get to Bronx County? How was it invented, basically?
So this all started with, well, ADR goes back for decades now. And I think over time it has become more and more popular. It started with the courts in New York County, and then with the former Chief Judge's Excellence Initiative. She said that there should be an ADR department in every county. Here in the Bronx, our administrative judge, Judge Gonzalez, started the ADR program right in the middle of COVID in 2020. Things were much more difficult, as people recall. It was much harder for cases to move forward. And one of the ideas she had was that if people could get together and settle the case even via Zoom, things could keep moving. And so that's how it started. It launched in 2020. And since then, I have taken over the program this past summer. And that's where we are right now.
How do attorneys find out if they have a case that may be submitted to ADR?
So this is what I would recommend to anybody. We have an ADR website for Bronx County. It's live, and we'll share the link hopefully in some way for people. And basically, if you go right there, right on our homepage, first thing you can see is a little link, request for mediation. It's a simple form, 8 questions, something like that. Put in your info, and it comes to us. We don't tell the other side where we found out about it. We'll check in with you. And if the case qualifies, we'll let everybody know.
Take us into the meeting between you and the attorneys for the first time. What do you initially discuss with them when they first meet with you?
Well, and I want to say, by the way, it's not just attorneys that this is good for. If you're somebody who's watching, and you have a case in court and you're not represented by an attorney, we have a program specially designed for people without attorneys. And, obviously, if it's repeat players who, attorneys who've done mediation before, it's a little bit faster than if it's, somebody who is never been in that process before and needs a little more hand-holding, a little more explanation. What I'll usually do, I'll sit everybody down. Of course, I introduce myself. I explain to them a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish, and then I get the basics, the very basics of the case. It doesn't take long to see, to start just getting a feeling of where the conflict is, what needs to what hurdles need to be jumped over in order for the case to resolve. Sometimes the issue is really about the case itself. Sometimes the issue is about a miscommunication of information, some information that one side has not been able to explain to the other. Sometimes it's a personality clash.
Now, and then I assume you take each party individually and try and work out the conflict. How does that work, really?
What you're describing, that process, we call it caucusing.
Okay.
And basically, you can, it's definitely something that I believe in, because what'll happen is you'll see both sides, everyone's talking, everyone says the official version of the case, right? And then it's not until one side walks out that, you kind of see like a little maybe breath of relief. And then, look, here's what here's what the problem is, here's what I can't disclose to the other side, or here's what we're really thinking, et cetera. So that's one piece of the process, is you can have them come in back and forth. The other thing is, I really try to emphasize having the attorneys tell each other things. Sometimes we'll talk just amongst ourselves, and an attorney will say XYZ about the case, or this is where I'm comfortable going right now, et cetera. And I say, well, why don't you tell the other side that? And I bring them in and they talk, and you can see the walls come down.
Now, do you hold on to each particular matter if it, more than one particular time that you're meeting with the parties? In other words, will you put the case over for a couple of weeks or a couple of months to work on it again, or is it a one-shot deal?
Okay, so if you're meeting with me, most likely, and I'm a court attorney in the courthouse, so certain cases will come to me that I'll mediate them as a court attorney. If you meet with me, I will usually you get 90 minutes. If it's a regular mediation, you can get a shorter time if it's through some of our other settlement programs, like the pretrial part and things like that. But yes, we can put the case over and adjourn it. And also, I find that, short phone calls are very helpful. Keeping things going via email, just checking in whether people have done the things that they said they're going to do in the interim. And then what I want to say about our ADR program more broadly is that what the main service that we offer, in addition to anything that's in the courthouse, is that we have a roster of between 80 and 100 qualified pre-screened mediators who are giving free 90 minutes. And that's really one of the main pieces of the program. They will prepare for the case. They will have an initial phone call to, get the basic background and set up a session. And they will do a first 90-minute session, all of that for no charge. And if the parties want to continue because they feel like it's a productive process, but they need a little more time or another check-in before they're ready to finish it, then those mediators at that point would collect a fee that would be agreed on with everybody ahead of time.
Now, to be fair, is the program offered in other counties as well, or is it just Bronx County?
No, of course, it's in every borough in the city, and the goal is for it to be in every county in the state. I can't say for sure if it's in every county in the state now, but it's in most.
All right. Now, can I ask you about the New York Knicks, since it's a big game tonight?
Absolutely.
You have a prediction for us? What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's a tough game. It's tough in Miami. I just want the Knicks to win. I want them to win so badly. I want to see them win. And
I feel like the city could use it. Like, we just could use a little bit of a boost. That's my reasoning for it.
Absolutely. And since 94, 2000,
yeah,
those old Knicks teams, it's nothing like New York City in the springtime when the Knicks are good.
Well, Albert, thanks for being here. Maybe you join us the next couple of months and tell us how the program's going.
My pleasure. Thank you.